All right, let's get right into it. We're talking about something pretty amazing today: magnetic resonance imaging, or you know it, MRI. It's one of the most powerful tools in medicine, and we're going to break down how it works and really why it was such a game changer for seeing what's going on inside our own bodies.
I mean, it really does sound like something out of a sci-fi movie, doesn't it? The idea that we can get this super clear picture of your brain or your knee or whatever without making a single cut? Well, that's exactly the puzzle MRI was built to solve.
And honestly, the solution it came up with feels a little bit like magic. Think of MRI as this incredible window into the body, a way to peek inside and see exactly what's happening, all with just unbelievable detail. You see, there was nothing like it before. MRI gives us this ridiculously detailed map of everything inside us. And we're not just talking about bones here. It's all the soft stuff, the brain, muscles, ligaments, that really tells the story of what's going on with our health.
Okay, so how in the world does it actually do that? This is where it gets super cool. You kind of have to forget what you know about things like X-rays because MRI is playing a whole different ballgame. It uses the physics of our own bodies to create these images. And here's the key difference, and trust me, it is a huge one. X-rays and CT scans, they use ionizing radiation, which, is something we try to keep to a minimum. But MRI, it uses magnets and radio waves. That's it. This makes it way, way safer. And it's also why it's so fantastic at seeing soft tissues, which is something X-rays just aren't great at. Now, that probably sounds super complicated, but check this out. Here's a really simple way to picture it. Your body is mostly water, right? Well, the hydrogen atoms in all that water act like zillions of tiny little compasses. All the MRI machine does is use a big magnet to get all those tiny compasses to point in the same direction. Then it just listens for the little signal they give off when they go back to normal.
So really, it all comes down to this four-step dance. First, align. That giant magnet gets all the water protons in your body to line up. Then, excite. A quick pulse of radio waves knocks them out of alignment. Step 3, listen. As those protons snap back into place, they release a tiny signal, kind of like an echo. And finally, build. The computer is listening to millions of these echoes at once, and it pieces them all together like a super complex puzzle to build that final detailed image. It's pretty wild.
But here's something you might not know. An MRI isn't just one single picture. It's more like a professional photo shoot. You know how a photographer uses different lights and filters to bring out different details? Well, that's kind of what an MRI does. Doctors can actually tune the machine to light up different kinds of tissue. By playing with the timing of those radio pulses, they create what are called different weighted images. Let's break down the two main types you'll hear about. Okay, so think of it like this. You've got your T1 image. That's the anatomy view. It shows you the physical structure of everything really clearly, and fatty tissue shows up as bright white. Then you have the T2 image. This is the pathology view, the problem finder. On this one, water and fluid are what light up. So it's perfect for spotting things like swelling, inflammation, or even tumors, because those things tend to hold a lot of water. So now that we know it can take these different kinds of pictures, where do we actually use it? Well, it turns out this flexibility makes MRI an absolute powerhouse for doctors in pretty much every field you can imagine. Let's start with the brain. In neurology, it is absolutely essential. I mean, for the very first time, doctors could see the living, working brain in incredible detail. This meant they could find a tiny tumor, see exactly where a stroke caused damage, or even watch how a disease like MS progresses over time. Just revolutionary. And if you've ever had a sports injury or even just bad back pain, you know this is a total game changer. An X-ray, yeah, it'll show you if a bone is broken. But an MRI, it can show you a torn ACL in your knee or a herniated disc in your back. The soft tissue stuff that's often the actual source of all that pain. And it doesn't stop there. Its reach goes through the whole body. I mean, oncologists use it to find and track cancers. It's a crucial tool for breast cancer screening in high-risk women. Cardiologists can even use it to check out the health of your heart muscle. The list of uses just goes on and on. Okay, but what if we could go even deeper than just a picture? What if we could actually analyze the chemistry of a piece of tissue without ever having to cut it out of the body? Well, there's an advanced technique called proton spectroscopy that does exactly that. People call it a virtual biopsy, and that's pretty much what it is. So instead of an image, spectroscopy gives doctors a chemical fingerprint. It actually measures key chemicals in the brain, these things called metabolites. So, for example, if they see a big spike in a chemical called choline, well, that can be a sign of rapid cell growth, which you see in tumors. Or if another chemical, NAA, drops, it can mean there's nerve cell damage. It's like eavesdropping on the cells themselves to figure out what's wrong.
So you have to wonder, right? Where does a technology this powerful go from here? Well, you can bet the innovation is definitely not slowing down.
The future looks really, really cool. For one, AI is getting involved. It's helping make scans faster and helping doctors spot problems with even greater accuracy. We're also seeing new contrast agents being developed. These are substances that'll make the pictures even clearer and safer. And, maybe best of all for patients, engineers are working hard to make the machines quieter and more open. That's a big deal.
And it really makes you think, doesn't it? This whole thing started with a simple, crazy idea to see inside the body without a scalpel. And now we can measure the actual chemistry of our cells in real time. As this window into ourselves gets clearer and more powerful, you have to ask, what's next? The potential to understand and to heal. It feels like we're just getting started.